is this? Huh, cool.
Welcome back to You Cook. I'm your host, Simon Novak. Roll a clip. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we will be making chicken ramen noodle soup. Our first ingredients will be the vegetables. We have celery, carrots, scallions. That's about it. Vegetables. We have ramen, the main ingredient, chicken broth, of course, the rotisserie chicken. First, we need to start with our vegetables. Now, it is important to wash vegetables because sometimes, and almost all the time, farmers use pesticides to, make sure bugs don't eat their crops. So you gotta get these chemicals off your plants. You don't know if the supermarkets do it, so just a little tip: wash your vegetables. Now that we've washed our vegetables, we're gonna want to cut them. So we're gonna start with our carrots. Now, one portion calls for half a carrot, but we're gonna do two. And you wanna just cut for how many you expect to have. These cuts are wildly large. Now we're gonna move on to cutting our chicken. First, we'll put the vegetables into a bowl and grab that nice rotisserie chicken that we've prepared. And you're just gonna wanna carve pieces off. Doesn't really necessarily matter what you have in your soup, as long as it's chicken. You don't want bone, I guess. Bear with me. Don't like rotisserie chicken at all. Now we're gonna open up our cans and put it into the pot. So hopefully you have a can opener because we bought canned broth, but you can also buy boxed broth, but we chose it due to proportion sizes. And as we said earlier, we are cooking for two proportions. So we are using 2 cans, but one serving, multiple servings are good with 1 can. And again, this is also a big pot because we are doing multiple serving sizes, and you can do it in a smaller container, hopefully enough to fit whatever you're using. So the vegetables and the chicken and the ramen and broth. Now we're gonna turn the stove up to about medium temperature, 4 or 5 works, and put in our ramen noodles. So you're gonna wanna break the ramen into about fourths, just so you don't have long, stringy noodles. That can whip you in the eye, as our boom operator says. Now we're gonna move on to the next step of the chicken ramen soup. If you remembered in the beginning of the episode, about a minute ago, we cut up vegetables and chicken. You want to just cut for how many you expect to have. And you're just going to want to carve pieces off. Doesn't really necessarily matter. We're just going to put that straight into the broth. You're just going to want to start mixing it in. Get it spaced in, cooking. You don't want the vegetables to be hard. You want them to be nice and soft, cooked with the broth and the noodles. Now that we're done cooking, you're gonna want to turn off the stove and move it over to the counter. Now make sure you have hot pads. You want to burn your counter. I've done it before. Little silly mistake. Take your ladle of choice and scoop up a nice serving of our soup. It's more of a just ramen noodles, but it's soup inspired. You want to get all the nice ingredients that we prepared for today. Look at that. Isn't that scrumptious? Thanks for watching this episode of You Cook. This has been chicken ramen noodle soup. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hungry. Let's dig in.